All right, guys. Today we are gonna be reacting to Kamala Harris interview. Let's jump in and see what's going on.
Good. Awesome.
She
Madam
look
Vice
already a
President,
little nervous as
pleasure to
hell.
meet you. Thanks for
Good
your
to meet
time
you,
today.
Brian.
Our audience appreciates your time as
Of
well.
course.
As you know, we're sitting here in a state and arguably in front of an audience that 54 days from now could decide the outcome of this presidential election. You hear it more than I do. People want to know more about you and about your specific plans. At the debate the other night, you talked about creating an opportunity economy. I wonder if we can drill down on that a little bit. When we talk about bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people, what are one or two specific things you have in mind for that?
Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle class kid. My mother raised my sister and me. She worked very hard. She was able to finally save up enough money to buy our
Isn't that what she responded in debate? That's literally the same answer.
first house when I was a teenager. I grew up in a community of hardworking people, construction workers and nurses and teachers. And I try to explain to some people who may not have had the same experience, but a lot of people will relate to this. I grew up in a neighborhood of folks who were very proud of their lawn, you know? And I was raised to believe and to know that all people deserve dignity. And that we as Americans have a beautiful character. We have ambitions and aspirations and dreams, but not everyone necessarily has access to the resources that can help them fuel those dreams and ambitions. So when I talk about building an opportunity economy, it is very much with the mind of investing in the ambitions and aspirations in the
Isn't that the same thing as opportunity zones? She said this opportunity economy, but it's the same thing as the opportunity zone. And she looks uncomfortable too, huh?
and the
Look
incredible
at that.
work ethic of the American people, and creating opportunity for people, for example, to start a small business.
And she always looking down to the right.
My mother, worked long hours, and our neighbor helped raise us. We used to call her, I still call her, our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small business owners. I learned who they are from my childhood, and she was a community leader. She hired locally, she mentored. Our small businesses are so much a part of the fabric of our communities, not to mention, really, I think, the backbone of America's economy. So my opportunity economy plan includes giving startups a $50,000 tax deduction to start their small business. It used to be $5,000. Nobody can start a small business with $5,000. But investing in people's innovative ideas and giving them the ability to go for it. Opportunity economy means, look, we don't have enough housing in America. We have a housing supply shortage. And what that means, in particular for some
BS. That's not the problem that we have. We have too many houses. Houses are built everywhere here in the United States. We cannot afford a house because inflation is too damn high. Too damn high, man. That's why.
younger Americans, the American dream is elusive. It's just actually not attainable. So part of my plan is to work with the private sector and housing developers to give them a tax credit, to be able to partner with us as the government to build, and my goal is 3 million new homes by the end of my first term. In addition, to help people who just want to get their foot in the door, literally. And so giving first-time home buyers a $25,000 down payment assistance
There we go.
to be able to just get in the door, and then they will.
And that's $25,000 more of higher prices because it's not real money. Imprinting money to just give it back to the community is not real money. I mean, I just don't get these policies. I just really don't get it. We have been printing money left and right for the last couple of years. It's not working. Stop.
Will do the work that they need to do to save and to pay that mortgage and to build wealth for themselves and their family. These are some examples of what I mean when I talk about an opportunity economy, and a lot of it has to do with just the community I was raised in and the people that I admired, who work hard, and deserve to have, their dreams fulfilled because they're prepared to work for it.
You talked at the debate and at previous appearances about turning the page on the past. And in fact, here today in Johnstown, you're talking about a new way forward.
Yeah.
I think some people have a question, given maybe your current role as Vice President of the United States, how different you are from Joe Biden. And so I wonder if there are one or two spots, policy areas or approaches where you would say, I'm a different person.
Well, I'm obviously not Joe Biden. And, I offer a new generation of leadership. And so, for example, thinking about developing and creating an opportunity economy where it's about investing in areas that really need a lot of work, and maybe focusing on, again, the aspirations and the dreams, but also just recognizing that at this moment in time, some of the stuff we could take for granted years ago, we can't take for granted anymore. For example, another plan that I have that is a new approach is to expand the child tax credit to $6,000 for young families for the first year of their child's life, because that is obviously a very critical stage of development of a child. And a lot of young parents need the help to buy a car seat or a crib or clothes for their
You can do it right now, executive order. Right now you can tell, hey, Biden, executive order, I just want to give moms $20,000 or whatever, just to make sure they can buy clothes and books and notebooks before, school started. You didn't do it. You know why? Because you're not going to do it. And not only that, I do believe that Biden and her, they don't get along. I really believe it. I don't think they get along.
And so my approach is about new ideas, new policies that are directed at the current moment. And also, to be very honest with you, my focus is very much in what we need to do over the next 10, 20 years to catch up to the 21st century.
Crime and public safety are two major issues right at the forefront of voters' minds in Philadelphia as well, where crime is a significant issue. When we talk about crime, the conversation turns to gun safety as well. And I think you actually probably caught a lot of people off guard, maybe a bit by surprise in the debate the other night when you mentioned that you are a gun owner. I know you said it in 2019 as well. I want to talk about your values on this issue. When it comes to gun ownership, where do you draw the line in America on gun ownership and gun use?
Well, like you said, Brian, I am a gun owner, and Tim Walz, my running mate, is also a gun owner. We're not taking anybody's guns away.
Oh my God.
I support the Second Amendment, and I support reasonable gun safety laws. Part of my approach to this is I was a career prosecutor for most of my career. I have personally prosecuted homicide cases. I have personally looked at autopsies. I have personally seen what a
Bro, she's so fake. Oh my God. Oh my God. She's so fake, man. Body language is bad. She's swallowing at the 30 second. Always looking down to the right. Giving the same answer that she gave in the debate. And mind you, this is only an 11-minute interview. Mind you, this is only an 11-minute interview. Man, this is so bad. And this is why the primary process is very important, because then you can select the right guy. The point is, the problem is that these two, Biden and Harris, they were elected by some weird process. Let's put it that way. And that's why it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
assault weapons do to the human body. And so I feel very strongly that it is consistent with the Second Amendment and your right to own a gun to also say we need an assault weapons ban. They're literally tools of war. They were literally designed to kill a lot of human beings quickly. I say we need universal background checks. The majority of NRA members support that. Why? Because it's just reasonable. You just might want to know before someone can buy a lethal weapon, if they've been found by a court to be a danger to themselves or others. You just might want to know.
Two final questions, if I might.
Sure.
On the appeal of the man you were running against, as you drove here today, you likely saw a lot of Trump signs. He has an historic appeal in this country. And as you are someone running against him and trying to understand that, I wonder how you distill it. What do you understand his appeal to be? And how do you speak to his voters? Or maybe people who just share his values but are open to something else?
I, based on experience and a lived experience.
What
No.
is she
In
saying?
my heart, I know, in my soul, I know that the vast majority of us as Americans have so much more in common than what separates.
I mean, man, you know what? When you do political commentary and you want to just get the political landscape, you have to listen to things that you don't like. But this is rough. This is very rough. One thing is to have respect because your opponent is very well rounded. You know, you might have some things that might worry you because your candidate that you go against is good. The problem is that she's awful, man. She's awful. She looks like she doesn't have even the cap. She looked tired too, very tired. I saw a video of her in Pennsylvania, and she looks tired, looking down, defeated. She looks defeated. And look at her. She just aged like 20 years in a matter of just months.
Us. And I also believe that I am accurate in knowing that most Americans want a leader who brings us together as Americans and not someone who professes to be a leader who is trying to have us point our fingers at each other. I think people are exhausted with that approach, to be honest.
You are exhausted.
I think people want a leader who has common sense and tries to find common ground. I'm supported by over 200 Republicans who
Wow.
worked for both Presidents Bush,
Mm-hmm.
John McCain, and Mitt Romney. I'm supported by the former Vice President Dick Cheney, former Congress member Liz Cheney. And I think people are more willing now, in light of the hate and division that we see coming out of Donald Trump, to say, hey, let's put country first. And I think that just makes us stronger and more healthy as a country.
Really?
To say, look, we can all debate our
Really?
differences around, various policies, but let's stop with the division. Like, enough of that. Let's bring everybody together.
Yeah.
And
You know,
finally-
they just bring everybody together by throwing a lot of Haitian immigrants and a lot of these small towns. I mean, man, these people hate this country. There's not other country in the world that was. I mean, the Western world is just so weak, man. We all know these policies are bad, folks. We know. But somehow we just allow these things to happen. We know dropping 20,000 immigrants from one country that is not even equivalent to ours. It's not a good idea. But somehow we just don't do anything. Man, I don't have time for this.
As you introduce yourself to America in a new way, they've heard much of your story at the Democratic National Convention and in that debate earlier this week. If there's one thing that you wish Americans knew about who Kamala Harris is that you don't think they know yet, what would that be?
I don't know. I mean, probably it's not very different from anybody watching right now. I love my family. One of my favorite things that I lately have not been able to do is Sunday family dinner. I love to cook. I have incredible friends. My best friend from kindergarten is still my best friend. I think that, I have a career that really, and I said it the other day, as a career prosecutor, I never asked a victim of crime, were they a Republican or a Democrat. The only thing I ever asked them is, are you okay? And I think that's the approach that most Americans want, regardless of who they voted for.
She's
in the last
tired.
election, in terms of turning the page and charting the way forward.
She doesn't believe
I
what
imagine
she
you're
said.
looking forward to cooking Sunday dinner again.
I am looking for it.
Stop it. Stop it. Oh, in 11 minutes, only 11 minutes. Why Democrats do this, man? Why do they do this? Why they're willing to sacrifice a campaign like this? We want to know more about the candidate. Stop with this strategy of just putting people in the basement and just putting PR and just hoping that this might be the best they can offer. This is so disrespectful. An interview that is so bad. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next one.